Interesting that the Riddler says that there's more puzzles to solve in the film studios, but as you guys have clearly seen, we already have gotten all of the puzzles and all the shit done in the film studios. So that's pretty interesting. It's almost like based on what area of the island you might be in, or maybe which sort of trophies you're going for at the moment, might determine exactly what the Riddler says. Because quite a few times while I was playing around, you know, getting all of these trophies and solving all the riddles and stuff, Riddler would say things like that, like, oh, there's a fresh batch of riddles to solve in the airships, and it's like, well, actually, Riddler, they're already all done. And then this little puzzle here, there's only that little hole in that pipe, and during that time frame is when you gotta hit it with the back claw, like so, right here. And whip ammo, thank you very much. We are closing in very quickly on the showdown with Mr. Riddler. And then finally we get to bitch smack Scarecrow up. Surprising how many of these kind of trophies there are. So many just behind like little wooden panels and, you know, like walls like this. Yeah, funny. 60 parts in and I still sometimes fuck up going for the the gadgets there. Now, several of these buildings actually have, like, quite a bit of stuff in them that you can go in. Here's a trophy in here. And then I thought this was pretty interesting right here, this, Happy Halloween shit that we got going on. Because I know that the game actually does take place on Halloween, which is an interesting touch. It does make sense when you think of the character of Scarecrow himself. Okay, oh boy. I'm pretty sure this is the one I'm thinking of. Okay, so we've got another one of these again, where we have to follow the sonar path. But as we're gonna see in a little second here, this one is actually a bit of a trick or some kind of bullshit, because we follow the question marks all the way to a locked gate. And you have to go around and unlock the locked gate. But once you undo the lock on the gate, the question marks reset and you have to come all the way back here. It's a real pain. Alright, gotta back up and build up speed so we can make this jump. Perfect! There we go. God, these really are the most tedious of this riddle stuff. Actually, you know what? This right here, whenever you have to do this to get a trophy, I would say this is the most tedious of any of the Arkham games. This is the #1 most annoying thing you've got to do. There they go, continuing to talk about Man-Bat. And voila, here we go. And this is the locked gate that I was talking about. So what we gotta do is we gotta get out of the Batmobile, and we gotta go up and over to unlock this dastardly little gate here. You know, I just saw Ant-Man again. Ant-Man was really solid. That was one of the Marvel movies or superhero movies that was coming out that I wanted to see it do good, because Ant-Man I knew was going to be something a little different than, you know, the Iron Man, Captain America type of superhero movie that they've been putting out lately. And Ant-Man was really, really solid. I definitely did like it. But I saw Straight Outta Compton the other day. That's the NWA biopic pick. Now that was something that was... I was blown away. I couldn't believe how good that was. Just, you know, from start to finish, the whole movie was just very, very solid. And a lot of the actors that they got to portray, you know, the members of NWA were, I thought, spot on. Especially Ice Cube. His son is actually the actor who is playing Ice Cube in the movie. And it is almost spooky how much he looks exactly like a young Ice Cube does. Especially after, yeah, here's a poster for Metropolis, Superman City. After Ice Cube in the movie cuts his Jerry curls and just goes to, like, you know, a close-shaven haircut, like, it is crazy. He looks exactly like his father. Maybe just a slightly skinnier version of Ice Cube, but just like him nonetheless. I could not fucking believe it. And he was a pretty fantastic actor. I remember, this is the area where we took out a lot of the Arkham Knight's forces when we gave Alfred control of the bridges back way earlier in the game. Yeah, there's a little panel right there. There's a movie review website I like to listen to a lot, doubletoasted.com. They actually said that they thought Straight Outta Compton was one of the best movies of the year so far.
A fine place to give up. I won't think less of you for waving the white flag of surrender, detective. In fact, I can't think less of you.
Still 50 remaining. Shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, Double Toasted, they had said that was one of their favorite movies of the year, and I would have to agree. Among movies so far this year, I only really liked, I really did like Age of Ultron. I can see why a lot of people have big-time problems with it, but it definitely was a very solid movie that I enjoyed quite a bit. There's that. Obviously, Straight Outta Compton was very good. Now, Jurassic World, the further away I get from Jurassic World, the less I like it. But I still thought, personally, it was my favorite of all of the Jurassic Park movies. Jurassic Park, Lost World, Jurassic Park 3. I mean, I like the Jurassic Park movies, don't get me wrong, but I never was, like, overly crazy about them. Jurassic World definitely had its moments. For me, I'm a big Chris Pratt guy. I love Chris Pratt. Thought he was amazing in Guardians of the Galaxy. So Jurassic World was a solid movie that came out this year. But the one thing, it is crazy just how much money it made. It absolutely crushed at the box office. I remember it was on pace to possibly be the biggest selling movie ever. I'll need to look that up on if it is or not. I would highly doubt that it still is, but it's something I really want to check into. And then, of course, I guess I would have to count Dragon Ball Z Resurrection of Frieza. I'm right. I mean, technically, that is a movie that was in theaters this year. Because even when it was first released in Japan, that was this year. See, he keeps talking about the film studios. Well, actually, Riddler, we actually found all of the riddles in the movie studios. So you can go S on a big fat D, okay? Can you do that for me? Can you just go S on a big fat D? Thanks, boy.
The militia boys
But the one movie that I am really, really looking forward to, that I think has got some real chance at being something pretty damn good, is the James Bond movie. Now, I, like everyone else, loved Skyfall when Skyfall came out. The latest James Bond movie to be released. I like spy movies, they're pretty good. Mission Impossible movies to me are alright. I always did prefer the James Bond a little bit more. But some of those James Bond movies are a little absurd. Whereas, like, the beginning, the Mission Impossible were a little bit more serious than, like, the Pierce Brosnan and James Bond movies. And I definitely like them more serious. That's why I like Daniel Craig as James Bond. I think he's fantastic. Funny enough that he's actually married to Rachel Weisz. That is the girl who plays, she's the main actress in The Mummy, which is another one of my all-time favorite movies. And there's a couple Riddle trophies here in the Botanical Gardens where Poison Ivy was pretty much making her base. Ah, yes, here we go. This is really annoying in the fact that you gotta hit all these riddle things, but you gotta do it quite quickly. And by attaching ourselves to this little battery the Riddler has up there, we're constantly charging so that we can use our big-time attack. And this is how we're able to get the Riddle trophy. But yeah, the upcoming James Bond movie is called Spectre, and it's got Christoph Waltz as the villain, which is a huge thrill to me. Christoph Waltz has been amazing in most movies he's been in. He was, you know, what was his character's name? Was he just called the Jew Hunter in Inglourious Basterds? I think he was. And he obviously was the main bounty hunter in Django Unchained with Jamie Foxx as Django. So him as a villain is going to be fucking awesome. And also here, we're finally getting this Riddler trophy that's been sitting outside of the orphanage. That's been sitting here the whole game as we've been coming back and forth in here. Also, Batista is going to be in Spectre, which is pretty cool, because I like Batista. He's been in a few movies. I know he was in the Man with the Iron Fist. Obviously, he was in Guardians of the Galaxy, which is, you know, a big-time Timmy Jim of a movie. Guardians of the Galaxy, so good. Batista was fantastic in that. And hopefully Batista is going to be just as good in Spectre. I can only hope.
No! How did you... The dolts I hired must have failed to construct the riddle according to instructions.
Sounds like the butthurt is hitting Riddler very, very strong today. Oh boy, just what we wanted. Another fucking one of these.
Now that the night's gone.
I'll tell you what movie I'm not looking forward to coming up, though, is the Point Break remake. Now, Point Break is a solid enough movie. I'm not going to hate on that too hard, because one of my favorite movie series of all time, anyone who has watched the channel for any significant amount of time will know the Furious 7 was what actually made me decide to start doing some movie reviews on the side a little bit, because I love the Fast and the Furious franchise. And the first Fast and the Furious movie was actually more or less a remake of Point Break, but rather than surfers, they were street racers. The movie basically follows Point Break beat for beat. It's almost the same damn movie. But obviously, I prefer Fast and the Furious much more. Now, this remake, on the other hand... Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, so this trophy is... Like, you need to make use of a lot of your gadgets to get this one. So first, you gotta put that motherfucker over on that switch right there. And then you want to put some explosive gel on this switch. And then there's also another one right here. So this way you'll be able to detonate those right there without being right near them. Bam. That's all of them.
I'm not going to congratulate you, Batman. You stole a trophy from an unfinished riddle. I reward intelligence, not initiative.
And that's bullshit. That certainly looked finished to me. Alright, well, we have Miyagani Island completed, and we got a penguin here. Oh boy. So all we have left to do now is Bleak Island. Everything else is completed. But yeah, the trailer for the Point Break remake was just awful. I am not looking forward to that in the least bit. I'll probably still catch it, but it was almost comical how bad it was. I was like, oh boy. Point Break, come on now. Let's not lie. No one is excited for that. Come on, don't lie. He says, I believe the criminals to, like me, be extreme athletes. It's like, boy, what? Extreme athletes, you said? Stop it. Stop it. Sound like a fucking damn fool. Oh well. At least Dragon Ball Super has been pretty good lately, right? Now, I think this is the spot where a lot of people will get their chip for the voice synthesizer to be able to control the Riddler robots. Because if you take this bad boy down, this is where old Batman will smack it. And you can grab the chip. But of course, I started getting mine in the Panacea Studios, so I was able to get the chip over there, and not, you know, basically just off of, like, Bleak Island here. Because if you take down the robot, you can hit that little Riddler thing right next to it, and restore him. See, the butthurt is very strong with the Riddler. I mean, we're really fucking his challenges up, and all he can say is, oh, had I been allowed to finish it. It's like, boy, shut up. That was finished and you know it. You're just lying out your ass right now. And here we have another trophy that's just blocked off by a bunch of these guys. But very conveniently, they're standing right under this, like, trash compactor. God damn it. And obviously that's supposed to crush all of them, but I catch a little bit of an unlucky break as that one, for some reason, does not die, so let's get the fuck out of here.